as they ask him, what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? Jesus begins in Matthew 24:4, giving a list of the catastrophes that will be going on earth. And he describes them basically as this: normal events that have always been going on earth that become intensely climactic and global.
Christians all over the world are in shock as ancient biblical prophecies are unfolding right before our eyes. Now many Christian leaders are pointing to the potential for December 2024 to be a turning point. Some believe that it will mark the beginning of the final phase of prophecies, starting with global destruction and in the long-awaited return of Christ. As 2 Peter 3 verse 10 states, "The day of the Lord will come like a thief. The heavens will disappear with a roar. The elements will be destroyed by fire." Could it mark the beginning of the greatest transformation the world has ever seen, or something far more terrifying?
Population decline. I know that the global population is going up, but Western nations and most civilized, industrialized, I should say, not civilized, most industrialized nations are having a birth rate that is not sustainable. They cannot sustain their population without immigration. And you know what I mean, all the things that could be contributing.
The Bible foretold. Matthew 24 verse 7 says, "There will be famines and earthquakes in various places." In the past months alone, we've witnessed record-breaking storms, earthquakes in unexpected regions all over the world. Bible even spoke of the events such as blood-red moons and unusual solar flares, leaving people speechless. Could these be the fulfillment of Joel 2 verse 31, which says, "The sun will be turned to darkness and the moon to blood before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord"? Okay, so in January 2024, the world saw the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict. Many couldn't help but remember Matthew 24 verse 6, which says, "You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come." Followed by the assassination attempt on former U.S. President Donald Trump, shocked the world. But were these just isolated events, or part of a greater pattern? Now this is where it gets interesting. If you are a true Christian, then you've no doubt heard the rumors surrounding the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea has just fulfilled an ancient prophecy, and Christians around the world are in disbelief. The Bible has long been mysterious about the fate of the Dead Sea. Most believers know it as a lifeless body of water. So what exactly happened? More importantly, what's going to happen next? Before we answer those questions, make sure to subscribe. The Dead Sea is home to huge sinkholes. These sinkholes are created when fresh water enters below the surface and combines with the salt layers that comprise the white section of the beach. When the salt melts, it leaves behind a massive hole. Interestingly, some of these sinkholes are developing underwater. Driftwood piles, bleached white and resembling old bones, surround the shore. If water bodies were ghost towns, the Dead Sea would top the list. It's the lowest point on the planet, the hottest location in Israel, and no fish life can survive in its waters. Despite its desolation, the Dead Sea's wonder never fades from the memories of those who visit. There's truly nothing else like it on Earth. Beneath the Dead Sea, fresh water from springs dissolves the salt, pushing through the silt and causing the ground to collapse. This phenomenon is beautiful, even if it resembles a natural disaster, with massive holes appearing everywhere, resembling tiny oases surrounded by a barren wasteland of salt. The minerals left behind create distinct colors in the sinkholes. However, there is life emerging from these sinkholes. Birds are chirping, suggesting that this area could become a hotspot for bird migration. The sinkholes are surrounded by lush greenery, and people have even spotted fish in them. This demonstrates that salt levels are falling, allowing life to flourish in previously dry areas. The Dead Sea, A salt lake bordered by Israel and Palestine to the west and Jordan to the east has been lifeless for as long as recorded history. Scientists once believed that because the lake is almost 10 times salter than the ocean, neither sea life nor plant life could survive there. Yet in 2011, scientists found evidence of life beneath the Dead Sea. Additionally, freshwater ponds brimming with fish have been discovered along the Dead Sea shores. This discovery aligns perfectly with the prophecy in the book of Zechariah. On that day, living water will flow out from Jerusalem, half to the Dead Sea and the other half to the Mediterranean Sea. The Dead Sea lies to the east of Jerusalem, and Zechariah 14 verse 8 foretells that waters will flow from Jerusalem to the eastern sea. Ezekiel describes fishermen working at the Dead Sea, where the salt sea is turning fresh. A glimpse of this prophecy's fulfillment is occurring right before our eyes. Take a look at the fresh water along the Dead Sea shore. It's amazing to witness up close. It's incredibly spiritually uplifting to see prophecy come to pass. Just glance at the colorful vegetation and witness how the Dead Sea is reviving. We might even see fish emerging from these sinkholes if we're lucky. The lake's borders are more than 400 meters below sea level, and a thick layer of salt covers the bottom, killing all flora. Scripture notes that the area was once a lush, well-watered land, but the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah reduced that valley to a wasteland, as recorded in Genesis 13 verse 10. In 2011, a group of scientists from Ben-Gurion University sent divers to the Dead Sea bottom, where they discovered massive craters covered in microbial mats, gushing fresh water. This indicated that the Dead Sea was not completely dead. Scientists and the media had overlooked this inexplicable phenomenon that appeared to defy natural rules. According to Ben Samantha Siegel, a Jewish American residing in Jerusalem, this startling find was discovered during her regular nature trek along the Dead Sea shoreline. When Siegel first spotted the fish in the pond, she didn't realize its significance. She thought it was pretty cool and noted how the Dead Sea seemed to be flourishing. Months later, when she reread the prophecy, she recognized the undeniable connection. Each time she visited, a family of ducks welcomed her alongside the fish. She observed how this scene powerfully illustrated the restoration of life to the world, drawing parallels between Eden and the prophesied resurrection of the dead in the Dead Sea. Siegel sees something significant. She explained that because the Dead Sea is the lowest point on Earth, its waters are perfect for floating. She pointed out that buoyancy prevents someone from drowning, even if they tried or didn't know how to swim. Using this as a metaphor, she expressed that no matter how low a person feels, God will always be there to lift them up, just as one cannot drown in the Dead Sea. Have you ever wondered why tourists come to the Dead Sea? They come to experience its buoyancy. The salinity of the Dead Sea is so intense that people can float with the water at their chests and stand motionless without touching the bottom. It's a strange feeling. If you've made it this far in the video, please make sure to support us commenting "bless you" and subscribe to our channel.